Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and today we're going to be talking about Elena, Starlight Elena, and also Yoshikiri on the JP side. So some of them are a little different, some of them are kind of the same, very similar in some ways, and some of them are different in some other ways. So with all that out of the way, let's just get into the review here. So we have Starlight Elena with the materia with 150% attack and magic TDH, which was very similar, right? Very similar. And she has light in water chaining with imbues, of course, so that's very similar, right? So unlike the global side, her imbues actually do chaining, which is kind of a positive, I suppose you could say. That's pretty good, right? She has starter straight chaining only, though, compared to the global side, who had lots of other chaining. Very similar to how her original form was when she jumped to the JP side, where she only had one chaining other than Aurora Ray, which I don't really count as a chaining family anymore. It's just kind of like one of those things you only use for dark visions, and that's about it. Don't at me. So 200% human and killer passives for physical and magical. It's good. That's quite a bit. Remember, guys, this hybrid, and 100% true to willed, or also 250% TDH in our bracelet form, and a lot of mod passive boosts. That's about it. That's that's the only positives and pros I can think about her. She's really not very good. I'm sorry. Well, maybe you guys are happy about that. Maybe you're happy that she's not that good. She's really not that good on the JP side. Just like I predicted, guys. There's no reason to be so angry. I don't know why there was so much outrage. I told you guys. Typically, when JP global units come to JP, usually they're worse, and she's worse in considering the time frame of releases. The global side version, even though she's not very good either, I would take her over this one. It's just she doesn't seem rewarding to use. No infinite turns, no 6 times cap or 600% with true to will. So what's the point? Her killer buffs in her ratio form only last for one turn. Why? One turn's not enough, guys. I've already complained much about these one-turn killer buffs. It's not enough time, guys. Not enough time. And her LBs are just, they don't do anything now. They've been neutered. They just are finishers, basically. The 2-hit finishers, both of them. She gets a 200% LB damage buff in her Brave Shift form one, but who cares, right? Maybe 100 times. Remember, guys, though, it's a hybrid finisher, so it's not going to deal as much damage as if this was like a physical or magical, depending on the boss. Oh my god, this is probably why they don't ever make hybrids, because then they make them like this, and then no one pulls for them, and then they wonder why no one pulls for hybrids, because they make them so terrible like this on the JP side. Alan's like, let's make another hybrid. I think it's time to make another hybrid, guys. Let's bring Ellen over to the JP side. And then they make her so bad. And then they're like, why aren't anybody pulling for her? New hybrid. Like, come on. She's awful. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be super negative, but compared to the global side, she's just awful. And it's not saying much when the global side one wasn't that special either. And I think we can all agree on that one. Just wasn't even worth pulling on, and I think I'm just gonna give her a 7 out of 10, just because she can deal damage and she has imbues a chain. At least that's good, I guess. So no 6 times cap was what dragged her down into the depths of the abyss in that score of a 7 out of 10. Which, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, by the way. And 7 out of 10 is the average score for me. 7 out of 10 is the baseline score. So anything above 7 is going to be quite good. Anything below 7 is not going to be so good. So she's just kind of hanging on there. Not worth pulling for. Don't get angry. Not worth getting angry over. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. If you watch all the way to this part of the video, make sure to type in hashtag Elena. Do we get 50 likes in this video? That'd be really great. 50 likes, please. Thank you very much. Anyways, Yoshikiri, who is very similar to the global side, although on the JP side he's mostly a cooldown based, so you got to be a little more careful what you're using and things like that. So he's really definitely more about dark visions, even on the JP side, than the global side, because of the cooldown stuff. He doesn't have a lot of cooldowns on his global side version. He's more flexible in that way, so you're not really as flexible. But he does have 150% Spirit TDH in his base shift form and BS. One of the most impressive things I saw, which is kind of insane, and I don't think I've ever seen this before, 300% full stat buff for all allies. I've never seen that on anyone. So he just gives 300% attack, 300% full stat buff to all allies on a cooldown. Of course, it would have to be in a cooldown. That'd be insane if it was just a normal ability. He does have a neutered version of that on a regular ability. Like, I think it's like 230%, but also cures stats buffs and things like that. So he is very flexible. He has human and machine mitigations on his cooldown. They're separated, by the way. They're not the same one. They're separated. So he has human mitigation, he has machine mitigation separated. And some crazy thing that he has is he can single target this, by the way. 90% magical or physical mitigation, also gives 50% general mitigation to an ally as well. So that's insane, because there's not very many units that can give 90%. Usually this is for like the caster, they can use this. 90% mitigation, it lasts for one turn, of course, but you can target this at your tank. Your tank, or anyone that's going to be getting hit, can get 90% physical or magical mitigation. That's just, wow. That's crazy. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. That's crazy. That's one of the craziest things. Honestly, they've given him like a super crazy kit, and I wonder why. When we look at the leather unit, I wonder why they made him so good. His LBN in space gives a lot of stat. I think might be similar to the global side. 85% all elemental resistance, 100% LB damage buff, and also physical and magical human machine killers. I didn't write how much apparently, but it's there. I think it's 100%. And his LB and his brace shift form is 130.5. I don't know what the 0.5 is with spirit scaling. So pretty good. It's 30 times. I don't know what that changed with right now. It doesn't seem to have a chaining family, but it probably changed with maybe Extreme Nova. That'd be pretty cool, right? It doesn't say that it is right now, so I don't know if it does do Extreme Nova frames yet. We'll have to see. Of course, there has to be some cons with someone that's strong, but we'll get into that in a second. He also has water and ice imbues just like in global. He has bolting strike chaining, and like I mentioned before, spirit scaling chaining. And his highest modifier, since people like this, is 150 times on a cooldown spirit scaling force. So the rest is some negatives. No infinite turns, just like Elena. No 5 times cap, which is really disappointing when you want to make him spirit TDH. In the new age of this game, when you have a TDH unit, you want to have that 5 times cap like Lightning has. If they don't have it, they're kind of disappointing in terms of damage. So he's not going to be, despite his high modifiers on a lot of his abilities, he's not going to be that special in terms of damage. I think his normal form is much better than his brace shift form, but he needs those imbues too, right? So, and his vision card's only 25% spirit TDH, which is really disappointing. I think most people were hoping for 50%, because there is very rarely ways to increase spirit TDH on anyone. So, yikes. So yeah, that's about it on Yoshikiri. No reason to get angry, but I think he's better. I don't know how you could say he's better than the global side, because the global side one is nichely good as well, but he's also nichely good. But I think he's really built for dark visions, just like the global side is. I don't know if you would bring him to anything else, but he has a really good support kit, like really good support kit for trials 2 most likely. 300% attack. I don't say this. I'm so used to saying 300% attack buff. 300% full stat buff for all allies, which is really crazy. So there's that, guys. I think I'm going to be giving him an 8.5 out of 10. If he had 5 times cap at least, he would be getting a 9, but unfortunately no. And also no infinite turns, which is just disappointing. So guys, that's about it, guys. There's no reason to get angry about this banner. I know there was some outrage. Don't be outraged. Just chill. Now you know that, there's some pros and cons here. And I think Yoshikiri is the one on the banner that's the bait. He's definitely the bait on the banner that make people pull. But they made him so good, but like, Luna Freya is coming, guys, and she's gonna be a support too, I'm sure. Luna Freya is coming. We already know that. That's why they made him so interesting and to be bait on the banner. So I wouldn't pull, guys. If you are waiting for a banner to pull on, just wait for Luna Freya at the end of the month, because she's coming. She'll have a Neovision version, not Neovision Awakened, unfortunately, but she'll have a Neovision version. So that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, that was already one keyword, but this keyword is going to be Yoshikiri. So there's 2 keywords in this video. Make sure you type them both in. Make sure you give them 50 likes on this video, please. That'd be greatly appreciated for my review here. And that's it. Gotta work on that new global news video now. I've got 2 videos I gotta make in the morning, so I'm rushing through this, sorry. And this won't be edited because I don't have time. So appreciate you guys anyways. Love you guys, and I hope to see you in the very next video, which will be later. Peace.